Greg from Greg Cheek Speaks, and I'm at Fort Stewart, Georgia, 3rd Infantry Division, Rocket of Marne, and I'm at Cottrell Field. It's not as windy as it was last night. I recorded the video that you're about to see here last night during Hurricane Matthew. So you ask yourself, why would I record a video during Hurricane Matthew? It actually started across the street over here. There's an evacuation center. So last night I left my hotel across the street, went to the evacuation center, and was giving copies of my book. There was about 45 families there. It started getting really crowded. So I asked the military policeman if he had any problem with me coming across over here. This is the main parade field. It's also where the Warriors Walk is, and if I could do a Facebook Live. I had spent the last couple days talking to soldiers. We knew the storm was coming. So I had a couple things that I just wanted to share that I'm passionate about. I talk in my book about. I love soldiers, love service members. I travel all over the world when I have white space on my calendar, on the weekends especially, talking to service members about the power of opportunity. But this video you're about ready to watch, I talked about 3 things primarily: about time, about regret, and about gratitude. So hopefully you enjoy the message. If you want to pass it to somebody that you think might need it, please do so. Again, this is Greg from Greg Cheek Speaks, and I'm at beautiful Fort Stewart, Georgia. Much calmer today than it was yesterday. Thank you very much, and Rocket of Marne. Hopefully you can see me. I'm at Fort Stewart, Georgia, as you can tell. I appreciate the MPs, good looking out. I can always count on soldiers taking care of me. The selfie stick is going to have to get pulled down because the wind is blowing hard. I'm at those that have been here at Fort Stewart, this is the 3rd Infantry Division Parade Field where I'm located at. The Warrior Walk is on both sides, so I got the fallen on both sides taking care of me out here. But most of the roads are closed. The fitness center across the street is where they're receiving displaced people, actually in both gyms. So I didn't want to get in the middle of that. So I had coordinated earlier to find my way over here, and I'm at the parade stand. So I spent a lot of time today with soldiers and talking to different people. So I got a quick message. I won't stay out too long. Down. The parade field is completely underwater. So it is underwater. I don't know how much rain you've gotten, but we're just now starting to get into it. But you know, one reason why I wanted to do it here, I spent a lot of time today talking to soldiers. So I went to the dining facility today, spent a couple hours there talking to service members, young soldiers, specialist PFCs, Sergeant E5s, and then I went to the barracks and started walking around the barracks. And honestly, I planned on doing this live anyway, but I wasn't sure what I was going to talk about. So my publisher sent me a bunch of books. I went and I was giving them out. I knew eventually the cable, the power source to watch TV, I knew that was going to go out. So at least I give them something to read. But one thing I want to talk about is time. Time. So I talked today to soldiers about time. So 3 things quickly. It won't be long because I'm going to get going. There's nobody on the roads, so the MPs are going to make sure they get me back to where I'm at. So I'm going to make this short. But time, regret, and gratitude, 3 big things. It's easy for me. Time is so big. So I went around the barracks today knowing that for probably the next 24, 36 hours, everybody's going to be locked down. So I asked them about what are they doing? What are they doing with their time? So those that know me knew I was going to go to the education card. So I'm talking to soldiers about education. And I didn't have one soldier today tell me they were going to school. And not one soldier has an excuse for not going to school. Every service member and those under the post 9/11 GI Bill get their tuition paid for. So I'm grading finals today for my online community college class. And whoa, the wind is blowing. And so a lot of my soldiers, and I say a lot of my college students, are working 2-3 jobs, single parents, working multiple jobs, raising kids and everything else, and at the same time trying to pay for books and school and everything else. So when I go talk to soldiers and asking soldiers what are they doing with their time, and they tell me they don't have time to go to school. So if you're out there and you got the post 9/11 GI Bill, if you're currently in right now, there's no reason why you're not going to school. Why are you not going to school? You got 24 hours a day to make something with yourself. So again, I have the opportunity to sit on the other side when I didn't think I'd be here. The reason why I like this location, the reason why is on both sides of this field, there's 467 plates for service members that have died since 9/11. Find somewhere here. Service members that died since 9/11. Gotta find somewhere to get out of this. So, this is better. Okay, so they died for the right for you to go to school. They died for the right for you to have time to do something when you're sitting in the barracks for 24 or 36 hours. Right on the golf course down here, there's a sign on the side of the golf course that says, Penn State University, free application for service members. Tuition is free, books are included or free. That whole thing is an excuse for the reason why you're not doing your education, you're not going to school, you're not providing yourself. And you're right, school's not for everybody. But if you have the post 9/11 GI Bill, you can go for a trade, you can learn something else, you can do something else. But I'm gonna tighten this up, because one thing I wanted to show you, I go up here to the parade field. It's gonna be windy up here, but I'm not worried about it. So you go to the parade field up here, and now I'm at the top. So up here at the top, you look back here, there's the third ID symbol right back there, right here. And watch the troops go by as they go to combat. And when they come back, when a soldier doesn't make it, they plant a tree over here. And that's how they end up that tree there. But that hasn't been going on just since 9/11 and third ID. 100,000 soldiers died in World War I, 400,000 in World War II, over 50,000 in Korea, 58,000 in Vietnam, and 5,000 since 9/11. This right here, these trees, these people under these lights, this is the reason why you have the chance to go to school, and it's paid for. This is the reason why Kaepernick, if he wants to go on a knee or they want to hold arms or do whatever they want to do, they have the right to do that, because we live in the greatest land in the world. It's the reason why everybody on this post is safe. They know they're going to be taken care of during a hurricane. There's places in the world, such as Haiti, they can't say that. So we live in the greatest place in the world. So time. Time is something you can never get back. The one thing I learned when I was going through cancer treatment is regret. Regret that they didn't do something that they wish they did. So I would sit there with people who are in, dire situations with their families, and all they did is regret what they should have done when they were younger, and they didn't do it. So for all of you out there that are young enough, and you've got the ability, you got time, then you need to go do what it is you want to do, because you don't want to be in a situation where you have regret. And one thing about a situation like this, now this happens to be a hurricane, but it allows people the opportunity to sit and realize what it would be like if I only had a day left. Ray Lewis has a great video talking about time he did at Stanford University before a basketball game, and what would you give if you didn't have tomorrow? Because none of us are guaranteed tomorrow. So when we're in a situation like this, with high winds, trees blowing down, flooding, all kinds of chaos going on, you realize that we're not guaranteed tomorrow. So if there's something you want to do, you do it. So when people ask me, why do I go and speak to these soldiers? Why do I travel and speak to enlisted basic leader courses, senior leader courses, Bullock? It's because I'm trying to spread the message to them that you're not going to, you don't have forever. Take advantage of what you have now, because you don't want to be in a situation where you're in regret. Regret is the worst thing in the world, where you look back and you wish I would have, I could have, I should have done something, and you didn't do it. Gratitude. Last thing, gratitude. I watched today in several different locations, people coming in, custodial people, janitorial people, service people coming in, cleaning the floors, water dripping in the barracks, water dripping in different places, and people in there eating potato chips, partying, watching movies, whatever, and nobody offered them something to eat, tell them thank you, anything. Gratitude. Something huge about gratitude. And for those that have been to my talk or read my book, you know the deal about when I was in the hospital and I got diagnosed with cancer. So I wrote a thank you note. Gratitude. Something that my mom taught me, that I may not have a lot of money, but the one thing I can do is provide gratitude. They've done a study. Some of the most miserable people in the world are people with the most money. You can have all the money in the world, but if you're not a grateful person and you show gratitude, you have a miserable life. Some of the happiest people in the world don't have anything. They have nothing at all. And so you find out in something like this who is happy, who's not happy. And normally the people that don't have a lot are the happiest, and the people that have the most, because they feel like they're put out by something like a hurricane, they're not happy. So what I did was I wrote a thank you note to the nurse and the doctor, but then to the receptionist that checked me in for my biopsy. I wrote her a thank you note. She had talked to me when I processed for my biopsy. She was a single parent. Her husband just left her, went back to Mexico. She had 2 kids and wasn't sure what was going to happen. College was definitely out the door. And for an immigrant, for many that come to this country, college is the way to get ahead. So I wrote her a note and told her, I teach community college, you can do this, you're as smart as any of these people here. So what did she do? She took that, graduated from University of Kansas, nursing degree, and is now in med school. But the part about gratitude was, and I told her, sometimes you need somebody to believe in you. But what it did for me, I was driving to go find a priest actually, after I got diagnosed with cancer. I pulled over the side of the road. Cancer was whipping my ass for the last month. I was losing weight, coughing up blood, I was losing my weight. But when I showed that gratitude to that young lady, I pulled to the side of the road and my body felt different. I felt different. I knew something had changed. And so the cancer cells in my body were like, uh-oh, I don't like that. Because all of a sudden everything took a step back. Because you know what happened? It's gratitude. And that is, I knew that even if I didn't live one more day, I'd change somebody's life. And that's what it's all about, is changing somebody's life. So when I go and speak or write my book or I talk to people, I'm just trying to change somebody's life. It's not about money, it's not about anything else. That's the reason why I came out here. I don't want to get in anybody's way, but because if I only talk to one person who listens to what I gotta say, somebody sitting on a post 9/11 GI Bill, sitting somewhere in the world who's not doing something with that benefit that was earned not only by you, but these people laying out here, these people out here, and all those before. 3rd Infantry Division, the 24th that was here, 3,000 soldiers died during World War II. So those benefits were paid for you to take advantage of it. And for all my students out there that I just graded your papers, that are single parents, dual working parents, that are struggling, you don't ever stop. You never stop. You keep your dream, you keep going, and you understand the deal about time, that you only have so much time to go after your dream. And again, it's of what it is that you have earned to you. All right, but you got to take advantage of that. You can't just talk about it. You got to do it, and that's where time comes in. So if you have time to watch some show on TV, you have time to mess around on your cell phone, then you got time to go after your dream, whatever that dream may be. Some of you can't go 5 or 10 minutes without your cell phone, but maybe if you put your cell phone down for a minute and read a book, or maybe went and thanked somebody for what they've done for you, or just thank anybody who's doing a service, that gratitude will come back to you. So this is Greg from Greg Cheek Speaks, but I had a message I want to get out, and I want to talk about time, regret, and gratitude. And if you don't do any of those 3, take the time so you don't regret it, that you tell somebody today you love them, or tell somebody thanks for something they've done. Hopefully you forward this to somebody that needs help. You know, we see people doing these push-ups for veterans, and 22, 26, we can talk about the number, but too many veterans committing suicide. So make sure you reach out, help somebody, tell somebody you love them, and remember what had happened here on the sacrifice on this field, and make sure you support them. Again, this is Greg Cheek Speaks. I'm going to come out tomorrow morning. I'll do another video. I hope that it's a little calmer when I come back out, but hopefully you send it and somebody gets my message. You can always contact me on my website. I talk to people all the time. I just talked to a cat in Chicago who's in a homeless shelter, who somebody gave him my ebook. He read it. I spoke to him for 30 minutes. I got him hooked on about, going to college, about picking himself up. So again, try to pick somebody up today. Show gratitude. I love everybody out there, and everybody be safe. Thank you very much. Have a great day.